an environmental activist, a Teamster, one of the founders of the Green Party, and I was honored to be his running mate in New York for governor, lieutenant governor in 2010, Howie Hawkins.
It's good to see so many brothers and sisters here. It took me about 45 minutes to find us. We got diverted. Half our people are at another rally, but we got a full house, and that's great. They asked me to speak about labor and jobs issues. And Jill Stein's got a realistic program called the Green New Deal. It's a national mobilization to go for 100% carbon-free clean energy by 2030. And that plan will create 20 million new jobs, and it will cut energy costs drastically. The study in New York says it'll cut it in half by 2025. So, what we're talking about, the studies show, is technically and economically feasible. We got studies by Amy Lovins from the 70s, Ross Gelspan and the Harvard MIT study in the 90s, Mark Jacobson and Solution Project studies today. The problem is not economics, we got the financing. The problem is not technology, it's there. There are two problems. One is the bottleneck is labor. That's why it's such a great job creator. It'll be hard to find the people to do these jobs to make the transition. The other bottleneck is politics. We don't have the political will. Now the Solutions Project bumped their timeline from 2030 to 2050 recently. And we know why they did it. They talked to some damn Democratic politicians who said it's not realistic to go by 2030. You give politicians 20 years, and they're going to do nothing today. We know what's realistic. We got to start now aiming for 2030, and that's what Jill Stein and the Green Party. That's what we're aiming to do. Now the sun shines, you know that today. The wind blows, the rivers flow. That natural energy is all around us. And all we have to do is build out the renewable infrastructure to harvest that energy. And then if the marginal costs are almost zero. And that means the clean energy system is not compatible with the profit-seeking Exxons and Exelons and Energies and National Grids and Con Eds and PG&Es. It means renewable energy systems have to be shared, commonly owned and operated at cost, not for profit. Solar socialism is on the agenda today. If we really want real climate action, we need a community-based public energy system with local planning and regional and national coordination. And you know what? I helped form the Clamshell Alliance. I've been in this movement since the 70s. We were talking about that in the 70s. We had a whole model developed. In fact, model legislation was printed in the Congressional Record in December 1974. But the Democrats forgot about it. Bernie Sanders didn't even raise it. But the Greens are bringing this back. We're going to have a public energy system because we need to get the solar power, we need public power. Now the labor movement, and I'm in both the labor movement and the environmental movement, we talk about a just transition. That means when we close fossil fuel and nuclear, we got to take care of the workers. And this movement actually came, this demand actually came from the labor movement, the Oil, Chemical, and Atomic Workers Union. Because those workers knew they were being poisoned by chemicals and fossils and atomic industries. And they wanted to get out of it, but they didn't want to lose their income. So the demand is full income and benefits till you find comparable work. That's part of what we got to bring the labor movement along with us. So the brothers and sisters there, no, we're not going after them, we're going after poisoning our planet. And only Jill Stein and the Green Party are calling for a just transition to clean energy. Finally, Jill talks about a federal guarantee to a useful job at a living wage. This is something that was progressive politics centerpiece from the 40s to the 70s. FDR put it in his State of the Union address, 1944, the so-called Economic Bill of Rights. The Black Freedom Movement picked it up with the 1963 March for Jobs and Freedom. A. Philip Randolph and Byron Rustin and Martin Luther King and them, They put it in the freedom budget in 1966. And King's Poor People's Campaign made it a central demand. And we got to the point where we got congressional legislation, but it was gutted under Carter administration and dropped by the Democrats. Sanders didn't raise it either. Jill Stein and the Green Party is bringing it back. So, the people want clean energy. They want universal health care and a public insurance system. They want public jobs for the unemployed. But why don't we have it? Because we try to get the Democrats to do what we say. That's political ventriloquism. It's powerless. It's dispiriting. It's demoralizing. We need an independent working class political action. Everybody here needs to think about, after this election, who's going to run in your community as a Green against the power structure. Most districts, because of gerrymandering, are safe seats for the incumbent. The minority major party doesn't contest seriously. The Green Party can be the opposition right away, the second party. So we're taking names. You got to go home. Take names. Get who's supporting Jill. Keep that list. Then after the election, if you don't have a Green Party chapter in your community, organize one. Then start running the candidates. So people need to take names, go home, get organized, and challenge the power structure from the bottom up. We elect people locally, then we're serious for state and Congress. So go home, organize, and get a big vote for Jill. And since they didn't grab the mic, I want you to know here in Pennsylvania, you can make a concrete gain. 2% of the vote gets a permanent ballot line for the Greens. In most states, there are 25 where a presidential vote can get a ballot line. Most of those states are 1 to 3%. That's a concrete gain. And another concrete gain is if we get 5% in the national vote, we get $10 million in public funding for the 2020 election. And we better get it now because the Democrats and Republicans have a bill in Congress to get rid of public funding for presidential elections. Why? Because they got so much corporate money, they don't need public money. So there's a lot at stake in this election, and don't let them tell you Hillary Clinton is the answer to Donald Trump. Because what do the Clintons do? What do the Clintons do? The Clintons triangulate. They accommodate the right. We can't rely on Hillary Clinton to fight the right. We got to do it ourselves.